So how do narcissists affect your mental health? Hello, I'm Dr. Jane. I'm a psychologist and this is Knowing Narcissism. And in this video, I wanted particularly to talk about how narcissists have an effect on people's mental health. So grab yourself a coffee or a tea and come and join me. Before I start, if I could ask you to like and subscribe, it just helps with the YouTube algorithm and it gets videos like this out there so more people understand what's going on in their lives with regards to the narcissist. So how does a narcissist affect people's mental health? It's different for every single person, of course. Your circumstances could be different completely to the next person along. But if we just tease it down and think about, the big mental health tickets, depression, anxiety, trauma, stress, we'll tease a little bit more into that. But how does a narcissist affect we'll talk about depression first, that sense of low mood, that pervasive low mood and hopelessness that is the characteristics of depression. A narcissist, being in a relationship with a narcissist, remember, who wants to feel unique and special and validated and all the things that narcissists do, admired all the time. Being in some kind of relationship that might be a romantic relationship, it might be a sibling relationship, it could be a family relationship, it could be work, it could be actual work, a work relationship or a social relationship. Any relationship with somebody that is a narcissist, of course, is going to have an effect on how you not only just feel about yourself, but then what those feelings do. And if you think about somebody that has low mood or depression, which may be a trait that they have anyway, but it's managed and it could be just moderate. But if you have a narcissist in your life, my goodness me, it's going to really make you feel as if you are completely useless and hopeless. And what is the point of being in this, in this relationship? And of course, the narcissist will capitalize on that. They will tell you that you're useless and rubbish and whatever it is that you do, that then perpetuates how you feel about yourself. And that can be so damaging and also so dangerous. So please, if you feel that your low mood, your depression is becoming more or is increasing more, potentially because of the relationship with a narcissist, it could be other things in your life, of course, please seek help. It's really, really important. There's stuff out there for you. There really is. So please seek help. But yes, being in a relationship, any type at all, because these can often be long relationships and they can really make a person's sense of self and sense of hope and sense of joy completely diminish. And it's really important that you recognise that and do something about it. So, of course, a relationship with a narcissist, we often talk about the walking on eggshells, that narcissists don't kind of sometimes know that they're doing, but even if they did, they wouldn't care because they have no empathy or they have really, really limited amounts of empathy. But making people anxious, thinking about what's that person going to be like when I next have anything to do with them? It might be that they're coming home after work, or I have to meet them for a family situation, or there's a social situation, and I know that narcissistic person is going to be there, often in big groups, holding court and telling everybody how marvellous and wonderful they are. And that just adds to that sense of anxiety. And what are they going to be like? And I've had situations where people have absolutely dreaded having, say it's a family event, and they know that the narcissistic person that they've been dealing with their entire life is going to be there. And when they come back and we come up with strategies and help, to what they may do in that situation. And when they eventually come back, they say, oh, it actually wasn't that bad and the reason being that it wasn't so bad was one kind of, the narcissist is so engaged in showing everybody else how marvellous and wonderful they are. They kind of forget you, but that person has been really anxious up until that point. So, that's just one example of how a narcissist in your life can really affect your anxiety levels. And what you do in those situations, we'll come on to a little bit later. I'm going to give you a few little techniques. Stress. Narcissists increase that level of stress, which comes out in anxiety, of course, but those actual stress hormones will increase. There's plenty of studies that have been done with people that have had anything to do with a narcissist in their life. Of course, their stress hormones are going to be released, because it's almost like that kind of paleo self of us. It's about the survival, isn't it? I've got to survive that encounter with that narcissist. How do I do it? And I have a stress response to that. But all that does is absolutely, utterly exhaust you to the point that you can't think straight. And again, in those situations, that's where the narcissist or the narcissist's flying monkeys will come along and just capitalize on your confusion and your stress state, your, whatever you are presenting because you are so stressed. Then they will capitalize on that. Situations again where people, the narcissist will know that how a certain person will respond in a certain situation, such as become stressed, and then they get to sit back and say to their crew and everybody else that might listen to them, look at them. You see, I was completely right. I fought that person to have custody of the children purely to protect the children from that behaviour that you're seeing. No, they fight to have custody of the children because it's about them winning. It's nothing to do with the children. They are just tools in their, armoury to make themselves feel bolstered and feel superior and special and all the things that they want to do. It's nothing to do, don't ever think if there's a custody battle going on with a narcissist, it's anything to do with the welfare of the children. It is not. It is about winning. And if I can win over you, then I feel better about myself. So another way, if I could ask you, thank you so much for watching, and if I could ask you to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, put some comments below, that'd just be really great. Just send it out there to more people. Thanks ever so much. So another way that a narcissist will affect somebody's mental health is trauma, a trauma response. Now, what is a trauma response? A trauma response, in its basic form, is a normal response to an abnormal situation. So if you've been in a relationship of any type with a narcissist and it's been damaging to you, that is traumatic. You are having a normal relationship because you are a normal person, and you are having a normal response to a, if you like, abnormal person or how they think and behave. But those trauma memories can get encoded in how you feel about the rest of the world. You sometimes feel it's an unsafe place because all the rubbish that you've had to put up with the narcissist. And that can then, make you anxious, that can make you depressed, all those things that can make you stressed, and it stops you going out potentially. Again, another situation that I've dealt with in the past with people that they felt that they couldn't even leave the house because they felt so traumatized because of a relationship, a lifelong relationship that they've had with a narcissist. I can remember one situation about a nice guy that I dealt with many, many years ago, and he really loved to travel. He wanted to travel, but he was traumatized about any type of travel because on the one holiday that he used to go on with his family once a year when he was a child, he was an only child, his mother used to make him the most elaborate breakfast ever. And I said, did you used to get this breakfast all the time? No, it was just once a year. And literally the moment that they jumped in the taxi to go to the train station, of course, he would be sick because he'd been given really rich, terrible food. And she wanted to encode this trauma response of travel to keep him close to her. That's as basic as those situations get. So yes, it can affect trauma. So it will not, any relationship with a narcissist will affect your mental health, depression, anxiety, stress, trauma. And it will also, of course, have effects on your self-esteem. You suddenly become very indecisive about things, or you don't suddenly, you are an indecisive person because you just don't have that ability to believe in yourself because the narcissist in your life has affected that ability. And of course, it affects your physical health. I talked about my chap that, poor guy would be sick, but it can also affect other people's actual physical health, their breathing, their in some cases, their belief that they can do anything other than literally lie on a sofa all day long. It's happened, believe me, it's happened. So what do? You recognise the situation. You make sure that you recognise the situation that you're in. Reach out for help. There is help there. Now, it might be that you can't actually access specific counselling yourself, but look, there might be stuff that does kind of low cost or no cost around you, but look at videos like this. Look at chat rooms. Have a look. There's always going to be something out there where people have experienced the same sort of thing, and they will listen to you. They can tell you what worked for them, what didn't work for them. Just look. You don't always have to join in, because you might not be in that position at the moment. You might not feel confident enough to do that. But just look and see what other people have put out there. It can be really, really useful. And remember, just take one step at a time. Don't think that your narcissist affected mental health is going to cure itself completely overnight. It's not going to happen. Take one step at a time and get support to do that. You are your own best advocate. You are your own best therapist. But if you need help and just a little bit of support, it's out there, and look for it. And, feel free to put comments below for the stuff that's helped you. It'd be really interesting for other people to see. Thank you so much for watching. Please do take care. See you next time. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Thanks then.